And I'm sharing ways to work with different techniques, asanas and breathing practice, pranayama, to regain or recover flexibility in the hips. So my issue comes from a knee injury a while back. Lots of people have different areas or tensions in the body or places that need to be fixed. I like to say with yoga, there's a solution for everything. So let's go over to the mat and we'll begin. I'm just going to adjust the light, perhaps. Take away one of these lights. There we go. That looks a little bit nicer. And we'll begin. So take yourself seated here on the mat. Either you can use a wall or be seated with just the legs out in front of you. If you do use a wall, just place a yoga brick or a cushion behind you so you don't catch cold, especially if you're somewhere like Nepal where it's frosty all the time, even spring. So now, feet side to side, warming up a little bit with window wipers. And now to start off for the hips, what I like to do is one that I named the bouncing butterfly. So bring your feet together. And this one just works with the tension that's already there in the hips. And it's very simple. You just push down, exhale breath. And once you're in a good space, just quickly release. The technique or the trick, if you like, behind this one is to quickly release the hands so the tension releases and the hips pop up. Just keep going. Do this sometimes with the eyes closed, listening to your body. Don't press too hard. Just go to where you feel the benefit of the pose without losing your yoga smile. And continue. There's no rush. We're not going for number or counts or anything like that. Again, just each time as you're making that exhale breath, visually imagine or realize that your knees are getting a little bit closer to the mat each time. And one more time. This time, maintain the hands there. Take a normal breath. And just work with a little bit of gentle insistence and the gravity. Opening the hips there. A lot of these poses that we do today, try to close your eyes, make a passageway, and send the breath to the area that's being activated. And then release. Okay, now we'll straighten our legs back out, side to side, window wipers. And then take your right foot just above your left knee. And we'll go for hip rotation. So I like to use a forefinger, as for drawing the circle, not to move the finger, but just as a guide so that you know that you're getting here right into the hip, the rotation that you want. So keep your eyes open at first. Make a circle with the finger just there on the tip of the knee, up and around. Once you have your circle, then you can close your eyes. As you're coming up to the top or apex of the circle, inhale. As you're dropping down, exhale. Nice, just gentle movements with a slow breath and a calm circle. And now back the other way. And again, maybe open your eyes, make sure you're getting the rotation right. And with each exhale breath, perhaps you feel like that knee is just dropping a little bit closer to the mat as you're working the breath in there and regaining some flexibility. Again, just be careful. If you feel any pressure or pain in the knees, don't insist too much. So this is little by little with the hips. Now straighten the legs out. Window wipers, side to side again. And then we'll take our foot, just drop it there above the knee, place the finger on top of the knee, and same thing, rotation here. Close the eyes, send the breath to the hip socket. You might find that on one side it's a little bit more flexible or the movement's easier. That's pretty normal. And once Do one more round at the round, pause at the top, and go back the other way. And now after this one, we'll do 2 poses on the mat, just to break up a little of the routine of being on the wall. We got another 3 or 4 on the wall, but we'll break it up. We'll go into the next one. It's called frog. So release the foot. Window wipers one more time, side to side. And now you see I have 2 mats here. It's set up for the reason. So you can go switching between poses like this. So here for frog, what you want to do is have the legs out wider than the mat. So you're straddling the mat, and that's why it's nice to have a second mat. Or turn your mat sideways. You don't want to have your knees directly on the floor. The forearms you can do either on the mat or on the floor. And once you're here, keep your feet in line with the knees, parallel. So they're parallel, one leg to the other, the calves. And you want to just sit back gently. This is a very, very deep and rather impactful pose, shall we say. You feel it right away. As you're settling back, you feel the release there in the hips. So just close your eyes and go to the point again where you can keep the yoga smile and you know that your frog is being effective. So stay here for a couple breaths. If you do feel like a little bit of space is entering in there, you want to go a bit further, just do it with the exhale breath, sitting back a bit further. But again, listening to your body and just being patient. And then coming up, gently, just rolling forward, and get your hands underneath your chest to press up so you can bring in each knee one at a time back into tabletop pose. Now we're going to roll around under our back, and I call this the thread the needle hip pose. So you're going to place your right foot just there at your glute, line it up. I'm lining up on the double mat. Get the heel at the glute. Left foot is just there on the top of the knee. And you're going to take off the scarf. It's warm enough now. Anyway, you're going to lift up your head and then thread one hand through the 2 legs and the other around and catch either your shin or underneath your thigh. And then sitting back, just with the exhale breath, bringing both legs closer towards you. You'll feel this in the upper hips especially. So, or upper thigh rather, and the hip area. So stay here for a couple breaths. And just calmly pulling both legs as much as we can towards us, feeling the opening there. And then release. Bring both knees towards your chest. Lace your fingers together. Give yourself a nice little knee hug, releasing any tension there in the lower back. And now we'll drop our left foot down on the mat, close to the glute. Drop the right heel just there above the knee. And same thing, lifting the head up, threading through, catching the shin. Back of the thigh, whatever's more comfortable for you. And just get the head completely flat, relaxed, shoulder blades on the mat, and pulling both legs towards you. And releasing any tension, moving a bit closer with the exhale breath. And now release. Bring both knees up again to the chest. One last little knee hug here, side to side. And then we'll do something creative with a brick. So, I'm happy to say
this hip attention the past couple of weeks here. I've been able to get to what's called the miracle pose, translated roughly. So, the miracle pose normally, if you're on the mat, it's one heel in all the way, just underneath the base of the spine, the other knee heel in just on top. Now, both knees should be on the mat. In this case, you can see there's a knee with a bit of space. It's not happening. You can always try the other side. Sometimes it depends on which heel comes in. You get a little bit closer. This side I'm almost there, but there's a trick with a brick. If you sit on a brick, sometimes this can gain you the downward movement that you need on the hips, so that you have full contact with the mat, which is really useful for meditation, or if you're doing other seated poses and you want to be there. So you bring the heel in to the brick. Do it here on this mat where we can see. So you're on the brick, heels coming in. I'll just move my camera. This knee is now flat on the mat, and this heel's here. Adjust yourself slightly, pulling forward, and both knees on the mat. So, I like to explore different seating options, and I'm really happy that all this hip training has led to getting to this position. And obviously, with time, the idea is to remove the brick completely and be flat on the floor, and then eventually half lotus pose, and yes, someday lotus pose. In the meantime, let's remove the brick, and we'll go back over to the wall with more of the sequence here. So again, placing a brick or cushion behind your back, and we'll just do some gentle butterflies here. So bringing the knees in, pushing down on the knees, exhale breath, pulling up, inhale. Close your eyes, send the breath there, but nice and slow with the breath, gently. And hopefully by now you'll be feeling a little bit more relaxed, or at least any tension there in the hips. Now, we get to the advanced hip stuff. Today, one of the things that came up in class in the morning here was sitting on the heels. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to get there, but I'll show you the idea and the concept, and you can pursue it if you like. So you're here in butterfly. Have your hands behind you, and you sit forward. The idea is to land on top of your heels. It takes a lot of flexibility in the knees and the hips. So I'm here. I just keep my hands straight, arms locked. Getting the body trained slowly but surely to feel this position, to get accustomed to the direction in which I'm pushing, and to get on top of the heels there. So this is just something you do, maybe 5-10 breaths each day. These advanced type poses, you have to get the body slowly but surely accustomed to them. You can't just jump into them. Doesn't matter how many years you've been doing yoga. Okay. And now the next one that I thought was nice, and this one I can almost do, is laying back, and you'll see, doing a complete movement here. So you bring one leg up, try to capture the foot as far close to the elbow, where the crease in the elbow, where the crease is between the forearm and the bicep, rather. Then the other side, same thing on the knee. Once you're there, you're cradling your foot side to side, like that. Just loosening up a bit the hip. And the idea from here, if you're really going for it, is get the knee behind the shoulder, and or, I'm not going to do this today, but I'll guide you through it. Get the foot behind the head. So bring the foot up. Now I can more or less get the shoulder here. Drop it on top of the shoulder. I cannot quite, well maybe I can, get my shoulders flat. I can, okay, good. So I'm almost there at the top of the shoulder. I've got the back of the knee definitely activating and working the upper thigh and the hip area, that's for sure. The idea with this pose, the complete pose if you like, would be to get the foot behind the head. But with time, patience, and a calm breath, these things happen little by little. That's it out. Release. Maybe extend everything out, straighten it out before going to the other side. Hands reaching up, toes pointing down. Lengthening the body here with a deep breath. And then catch the other foot. Just there at the forearm, or the crease between the bicep and forearm. And then sitting back as far as you can, with the shoulders on the foot on the mat. Just rocking side to side. Again, working some circulation in there. Calm breath. And now we'll go from the other side here. A few more cradles. And lifting up by the heel, leaning forward a little bit so you can catch there on your shoulder. See where you are. And get yourself completely flat on the mat, leg, shoulders, etc. And just hold on. Wherever you are, be happy with the moment. Take a calm breath and just enjoy the pose. So these poses, you definitely want to be here for at least 5 or 10 breaths if you can. So you can really engage, send that breath to the area there that's being activated, and get the feeling through the pose. And now, release. Bring both knees up to the chest. One more time, knee hug, side to side. And then we'll come back up. And we'll finish now. Almost finished. We'll take a yoga break and we'll do a butterfly pose. So, it goes here. We're going to have slides underneath instead of a butterfly. Again for the hips. Not missing the theme here. Have it finished. So, this will be our butterfly shavasana. So, bring the heels in. Don't just sit on the brick. Bring the heels in. Lay down on the mat. Lift your hips. And then just drop the brick there on the flat spot of the spine, at the waist. Not too high, not at the kidneys. Feet together. Palms facing up. Shoulders flat. Maybe we'll tuck the shoulders. Get a little bit more on the top. And then just let gravity do the work. Playing here as the hips are being pulled down with the extra little elevation of the brick. It's really quite nice. And bring the knees together, lift the hips, remove the brick, and one last knee hug before we finish here, just side to side. And work our way around to the front of the mat. Legs crossed, hands together, at the heart, and namaste. Thank you very much for joining. Hope you liked the sequence. Hope the audio came out. I see that the battery just died in the microphone. Don't know how long that happened. But anyway, if you can, please subscribe to the Michael Sands Yoga, Meditation, and Skateboard channel. Hope to see you again here soon. Have a great day. Namaste.